Well, we're going to fade out a little on that. That was, it was from Il Viaggio a Reims, and in my little book, it's track 17. I can't possibly pronounce it, so I'm going to ask Matthew Wild, who is the producer-director, to tell us a little bit about it. Matthew, welcome. Now, I know, you don't need the book, it says in my little piece of information that was sent to me, this is set in a chic airport hotel lobby. 14 fashion-loving B-list celebrities, each suffering from a different extreme obsession, find themselves stranded en route to a coronation. Sounds wonderful. Tell us about this production.
Great. Well, Il Viaggio a Reims is a really special piece of Rossini. It was lost for a very long time. He wrote it for the coronation of Charles X. Mm-hmm. And because it was for a coronation, he had access to the 14 greatest singers of the day. So it's this kind of unusual piece with 14 principal roles, all of which are incredibly challenging,
right,
but have absolutely magnificent music and really kind of eccentric characters to sing them. Mm-hmm. Rossini, because he'd written it for a coronation, didn't want to waste all this good music for something that he didn't think would really be able to be performed again. So he ordered all copies of it to be destroyed, and then recycled a lot of the music for another piece, Le Comte Henri. So people thought that the piece was lost for all eternity until musicologists started kind of digging around in the 1970s and managed to piece the whole thing together.
Oh, no.
So when it was first given in the 1980s, the world kind of went, this is Rossini's best piece, and it's been missing for more than 200 years.
It's a heavenly story.
It's absolutely wonderful, So the piece since the 80s has been kind of a real connoisseur's work of Rossini, because it's probably the best music that he ever wrote, but because it needs 14 such brilliant singers, it's a big undertaking to put on.
Which you have.
Which we have. We've got 14 really wonderful singers.
So this again is a collaboration between Cape Town Opera and UCT Opera School, which you've done before with your previous productions.
That's exactly right. Yeah. And this piece nowadays has really kind of found a home, generally being done with the senior students in universities or in young artist programs. Mm-hmm. Because for a professional opera house to hire the number of star singers that you need to do this piece is prohibitively expensive.
I can imagine. So that's wonderful. So we've got 14 brilliant solos. Is it sung in Italian?
It is sung in Italian, indeed, although the characters range from British through German, through Polish, through Russian, through Italian. Okay. But they do, for the most part, sing in Italian as a lingua franca.
Do you have surtitles to help us along or not?
We absolutely do, yeah.
Good. That's very important, I think. Presumably, because it's set in this hotel lobby, you've put it into modern dress? It's a modern staging?
We've moved the staging into a modern airport. It was initially set in a sort of a spa hotel. And it's this kind of really wacky plot. All these people are trying to get to the coronation, but their carriage never arrives, so they end up stuck in a hotel together and have to sort of entertain each other as a result. And various of them fall in love with each other and get drunk and squabble and get jealous and all sorts of other things. So it seemed to us that the kind of modern equivalent would be some type of an airport hotel, mm-hmm. where people might get stuck in transit. And we brought all the characters very much up to date, as sort of national stereotypes, but kind of modern ones from pop culture. So the Spanish character has become a Spanish footballer.
Oh, no. How divine.
Who behaves in a way that's kind of familiar to anybody who watched the World Cup recently, and so on.
It sounds absolutely unmissable. So that is going to take place at the Baxter Theatre, Tuesday the 26th of August to Friday the 29th at 7:30, and then a final performance on Saturday the 30th at 6 o'clock. Correct?
That's right. The whole of next week, yeah.
Tickets are 140 Rand and 190 Rand, and they are available through CompuTicket. And then, but also just tell us a little bit more. I mean, that is obviously not to be missed, and I'm going to announce the competition again at the end of this talk with Matthew. But I know that it's part of a season, and then you have coming up a little later in the season, you're going to be doing The Marriage of Figaro again.
Cape Town Opera is doing The Marriage of Figaro, that's quite right, and Christine Krause is directing that.
Oh, right.
It's going to be a lovely big opera house production of The Marriage of Figaro, because for some time the Mozart that's been happening in Cape Town has been mostly at the Baxter or in the slightly smaller space,
right,
or in the Artscape Theatre. Right. So this is a really impressively cast, bigger scale Marriage of Figaro that's coming up a bit later in the year.
It'll be amazing. But it says, there's been a remarkable, it was the 15th year celebration of Cape Town Opera. And again, it says here, on the 11th of July, Cape Town Opera will be performing in 4 different countries with 4 different productions. I mean, this is South Africa, exploring the world.
Well, the company's sort of just back from this extraordinary period where they had so much on tour and something on stage, if I get it right, in the UK, Spain, Germany, and I forget where the 4th was at the same time. So I think it's very exciting days ahead for South African artists who are just so in demand around the world.
They are, who are winning some amazing competitions.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, it's been exciting coming back to this production because we originally did this in 2010.
Yes.
And we keep on, looking back at the video or the photographs of that. And the number of the singers that we had in 2010 who've gone on to really fantastic international opportunities. I think literally about half our principals from last time are doing something quite extraordinary in Europe or the States at the moment.
I think that's absolutely wonderful. And of course, busy man that you are, your production of the Rocky Horror Show has come back for another run at the Fugard.
Rocky Horror just keeps on going. Yeah, we never thought when we started it about a year ago that there was any chance that it would still be running a year later. We had a great first 6 months at the Fugard, and then it moved up to Johannesburg, and the cast just had a short break before coming back here. What a pleasure. It's been a whole new experience for me to have something that just keeps on going for so long.
Yes.
And
doesn't take up too much time, so you are able to do this.
Well, absolutely, yeah. There's lots of other stuff on the go. Yeah. But we've been really lucky on Rocky that, we've got such a passionate cast, and they're all such consummate professionals that a year in, I think they're still displaying all the zaniness and energy and passion that they used to, which is amazing,
and still packing them in.
Still packing them in.
That's brilliant. Well, I'm sure Il Viaggio a Reims, Reims, however you pronounce it, will be packing them in as well, because it sounds wonderful. It sounds like almost bordering on the Rocky Horror, but completely mad and great fun.
I think it's one of the few operas I've done that the Rocky Horror audience might enjoy almost as much, because it really is laugh a minute.
Oh, good. Well, that's lovely. Now, before you go, I just wanted to again give some details of this wonderful competition. The Cremonini family, and through their All'Italia olive oil brand and their Italian importer Rialto Foods, and they're proud sponsors of the annual bursary to the UCT Opera School students, supporting their endeavours to build a foundation for world-class opera singers in South Africa. They're very associated with Il Viaggio a Reims, because it features one of the bursary winners, Makuduku Panyani Senoana, if I'm saying it sort of right. So one lucky winner is going to win 2 tickets to the opening night on Tuesday the 26th of August, plus a hamper of imported Italian foods. And if you haven't already phoned in, please phone FMR on 021 401 1013 before 1:45 with the answer to this question. Where will Il Viaggio a Reims be held? And I will announce the winner at the end of the programme. Matthew, thank you very much as always for coming in, and this sounds a wonderful production. We're going to continue playing out with that Trek 17, which I never got round to working out what it was, but it sounds wonderful. Thank you.
Great, thanks for having me.